just 2 weeks ago in the regular season. I'm Rich Crampanis. Thanks so much for checking out our Friday Week 8 highlight show here on ShoreSportsZone.com. We have got action all over Monmouth and Ocean County. We're going to get started with the big one, Brick Township and Toms River North playing for the A-South title.
Thanks to Manasquan Bank for sponsoring Shore Sports Zone's coverage of the Brick Township Green Dragons.
A much-anticipated matchup. Brick Township putting an unbeaten 7-0 mark on the line against a Toms River North squad coming in on a 5-game win streak. And it's the Mariners striking first on the ground, Darren Blackwell. Check out this dive into the zone. A 32-yard touchdown for Darren Blackwell. Toms River North has a 7-0 lead. After a 3-and-out by the Mariner defense, here comes Asante Moore, rumbling. 21 yards for Asante Moore. It would lead to this. Mike Husney, the dual threat QB, scores from 3 yards out on the ground. 14-0 Toms River North. Remember, Brick Township's defense has been unbelievable this year. They gave up 2 scores in the first quarter. So the Dragons, in need of a big play, go to their big play man. Tom Zabranik escapes the pressure. Jasir Taylor. Oh, man. Look at Taylor go 77 yards. And the Dragons are on the board. We've got a 14-7 ball game. Brick with the ball again, looking to tie things up before the half. A.J. Storino with the quarterback sack. At the half, Toms River North has a 14-7 lead. Opening drive of the second half. Zabranik, play action. Taylor is at it again. Man, Jasir Taylor is something special. 38 yards, his second touchdown of the game, ties the game up at 14. This Mariner offense has so many weapons to work with. Husney to Bryce Watts. That's a 14-yard clutch catch. It sets the stage for Asante Moore. Follows a great block into the zone. 9-yard touchdown for Asante Moore. The extra point is no good, so it's 20-14 Toms River North. The TRN defense came up with another stop, and that allowed Husney to go to the edge, and there he goes. Mike Husney, a 43-yard run. The drive is capped off when Moore finds the paint once again. This is a 1-yard touchdown run, capping off a 95-yard drive. It's 26-14 Mariners. So Brick down 2 scores with under 2 minutes to go. Look at Husney on defense, picking off Zabranik to seal the deal. And the upset is complete. The Toms River North Mariners hand Brick Township their first loss of 2015. 26-14 is your final. Once again, A-South produces another fantastic football game between 2 high-quality programs. After the game, our Alex Lorenzo with post-game reaction from the victorious Toms River North Mariners.
After the Brick Memorial loss, we came together. We knew that wasn't us. We knew if we wanted any chance at South Jersey Group 5, we'd have to make a run. We're grateful that we just at least clinched the win for A-South, and we're just going to look to build on this momentum and look forward to Neptune next week.
Nothing feels better than this, nothing. Okay, our kids will tell you, if they had to win one game, it wouldn't be South, it wouldn't be East or what, it would be Brick Township. So for our boys to come here, it tells everybody North is back, we're here to stay. Our levels are good on the youth, on the lower levels, at the freshman level, and the levels coming up through the youth program, and we're going to be here for a while.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Ocean Township High School is sponsored by Manasquan Bank and AdPro Imprints. Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Red Bank Catholic is sponsored by Surf Taco.
Get ready for a thrill ride at Count Basie Field. Kenny Pickett in Ocean Township had a 21-7 lead on RBC in the second quarter. But the Caseys would settle down and not panic down 2 scores. Eddie Hahn to Mike Balzofiore. Second TD catch of the game for Balzofiore. At the half, we got a 21-14 game. And in the third quarter, RBC came out like gangbusters. Eddie Hahn, rolling right, keeps it himself. 9-yard score. We're tied up at 21. And it looked like RBC was about to step on the gas and put this game away for good, because Hahn goes to Balzofiore again. This is gorgeous. 59 yards. Hey, this Mike Balzofiore is like the Julian Edelman of the Shore Conference. RBC with 3 straight scores, it's 28-21. But one play can turn the tide in a hurry, and it's this play right here. Kenny Pickett's punt is muffed. The Spartans recover. Down 7 at the 21-yard line. It's 3rd and long. Pickett. It goes off the hands of Max Hazard, into the hands of Joey Aldarelli. Great concentration by number 1. It's 28-27. but we don't have a tie game. That's because the extra point is blocked. Dan Lukowski comes through big, 28-27 at the end of 3. And Lukowski wasn't done there. Hahn back to the air. What a great catch here. Dan Lukowski from 36 yards. RBC goes up 8, 35-27. But Ocean had one more comeback in them. Check out Pickett's throw to Raquan Dean. And Dean at midfield is able to go into another gear. There he goes. Raquan Dean, 81 yards. All of a sudden, it's 35-33. The Spartans have to go for 2, and this play design is awesome. Check out Tyler Thompson picking up the block on the play action. Pickett shows great poise, and there is Tyler Rossback with a 2-point conversion. 5:08 to go in the 4th. We are tied at 35. So now RBC, 4th down. Are they punting it? Colin Shaughnessy with the fake punt run. RBC is on the move into Ocean territory. But Tyler Thompson playing on defense, sacks Eddie Hahn, so the Spartans get the ball back. 1:32 to go. They're on their own 19-yard line. And what a play call by Ocean Township. They've been throwing it downfield with success, this time the screen to Tyler Thompson. And Thompson is in the open field and so dangerous. Tyler Thompson to the 35-yard line. And now Ocean Township is feeling it. Pickett, so elusive. Pickett runs it all the way out of bounds to the 13-yard line. Under a minute to go, Tyler Thompson out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And how about this drive? 5 plays, 81 yards in 1:02. Kenny Pickett. The officials make it a little dramatic, but there is the call. Touchdown Spartans. Ocean Township is up 42-35, but there's still 30 seconds to go. The Spartans squib kick it, and Eddie Hahn has a short field to work with. Hahn to Balzo Fiore. 23-yard line, they call a timeout. There's 16 seconds left. Balzo Fiore, another catch. 9-yard line. One more timeout. RBC's out of timeouts. They are 9 yards away from tying this game. And Hahn doesn't go to the end zone. It's Max Hazard. He's down at the 3-yard line. But tick, tick, tick. Game over. And you see the reaction of the Ocean Township Spartans. Wow. 42-35 is your final. Ocean Township comes from behind on 2 occasions in the second half to beat Red Bank Catholic. And quite frankly, folks, this is the reason why we do our highlight show, to be able to spotlight 2 outstanding football programs and bring you intense action from a tremendous football game. Ocean Township by 7 over RBC. After the game, the Spartans realized they did something special.
We talk about it often. You know, you can measure a kid's 40-yard dash. You can measure a kid's bench press. You can't measure a kid's heart. And tonight we were tested. We were tested throughout this thing. Even when we got out to an early lead, we knew they'd make the runs. They have good enough players to do that all the time. But our kids showed what we're about, and that's a lot of heart tonight.
This is great. I've never even heard of Ocean beating RBC, especially home. I don't even remember the last time they lost at home. This is just great. Can't wait to get home and celebrate.
We want to win a state championship, and I know guys out here can step up, and that's what they're doing. We got big games, we need big plays. The guys are going to step up, and we're going to make big plays.
When we got in that 2-minute drill at the end of the game, we knew that I saw Eddie was back on the field playing defense. They were all back. They were giving cushion. So I wanted to dump it to Tyler and let him get as much yard as he can. It turned out he took it down to like the 30.
To win here at RBC, it's such a hard thing to do.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's the biggest win and one of the biggest wins in school history. I'll remember this game for the rest of my life.
Thanks to Reach Your Potential Training for sponsoring Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Rumson-Fair High School. Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Raritan High School is sponsored by Hazlitt Pharmacy.
Let's go to Hazlitt now, where the Raritan Rockets on a 3-game losing streak taking on Rumson-Fair. But this Raritan team has played some very, very good football teams, a tough schedule, and they came to play in a big way against the Bulldogs. Mark Carnival to Nick Pasquin. Inside the 30, but the drive would stall. That was a great pass play. Pasquin's been dangerous all year. On the other side now, here comes Rumson. Mike O'Connor on the run into Raritan territory. But the Raritan defense would respond. Matt Thompson with the quarterback sack. The Bulldogs would miss a field goal. At the end of one, we are scoreless. Second quarter. That Rumson offensive line gives O'Connor just enough time to do something special, and here we go. O'Connor started right. Look at the cutback. And then one more cutback to boot. Wow. Michael O'Connor, 48-yard touchdown run. Rumson-Fairhaven's on the board. It's 6-0 RFH. And then with Matt Vecchiarelli out, Brian Hess handling all the workload at running back. Hess getting it done. Great run here. 44 yards for Brian Hess. It's 13-0 Rumson-Fairhaven in front. But Raritan would come back at the end of the first half. Check out this play. Under 2 minutes to go. Mark Carnival to Jordan Smith. Now the refs rule him out of bounds at the 21, but our replay clearly shows he was in bounds the whole way. That should have been a touchdown, but it didn't matter because Raritan would get on the board before the half. It's Carnival to Ryan Dickens. At the half, we've got a 13-7 football game. Raritan has played well. They're hungry for a win, and they're thinking upset. And Derek Ernst is out in the open field, and Derek Ernst goes 68 yards. All of a sudden, Raritan has a 14-13 lead on RFH. Late in the third quarter, what a key play here. 4th and 2 from the 5. Rumson-Fairhaven goes for it, and O'Connor finds Mike Ruane. That made it 19-14. You're up 5. So now the Bulldogs go for 2. O'Connor to Colin Pavluk. This was a key play. 21-14, RFH is back up 7. And Raritan was finding success through the air. Carnival to Jordan Smith. Wow. 38 yards. Raritan is an extra point away from tying the football game. But Anthony Petruzzi's thinking about going for the win. This is a design fake play. They shovel it to Smith, but amazing awareness from Mike Murdoch. He comes up with a stop, so it's now 21-20. Raritan would get another chance to try and win this football game, but once again, it's Mike Murdoch coming up with the stop. And the RFH defense in the fourth quarter is able to hang on for a hard-fought win. 21-20 is your final. So you saw 2 gambles in that game. Rumson scoring on a 4th and 2 from the 5. Raritan tries to take the lead on a 2-point conversion and falls just short. After the game, our TJ Brustowitz caught up with Brian Hess and Brian Batchelor, who had major respect for Raritan and happy to come away with a road win.
Yeah, we definitely have to look back at the film. There's definitely things to fix, but I mean, it's a good win. Going to enjoy it, but we have to take a lot of things from it and get better from it.
I can't say enough good things about how well Raritan played, and listen, at the end of the day, we were just happy to come out with a 1-point win, but I credit Raritan, I credit our team for being resilient and fighting through, and we didn't play our best game, but we found a way to win.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Red Bank Regional is sponsored by Navasink Electrical. Thanks to Tom's Ford for sponsoring Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Holmdel High School.
In Little Silver, Red Bank Regional coming off a bye week, playing host to the Holmdel Hornets, looking to go to 7-0. First quarter, Jack Nowitzki finds Sadiq Palmer. An efficient drive by the RBR Bucks is capped off when Jack O'Connor boots it from 30 yards out. O'Connor has been awesome this year. 3-0 Red Bank Regional. Later in the first quarter, another great drive is capped off when Nowitzki finds the zone from a yard out. 10-0 Red Bank Regional at the end of one quarter. Last week's game ball winner, Holmdel quarterback Anish Agrawal with a great run here to the 16-yard line, but this drive would stall, and it was time for Red Bank Regional to get one more score before the half. Check out Sadiq Palmer. So dangerous, you can't match up with him one-on-one. You got to just try and contain him. 29-yard gain for Sadiq Palmer, and it's safe to say Sadiq Palmer, major matchup problem. This is why this young man is going to Syracuse. Look at this play here. Dragging tacklers into the zone. Wow. Sadiq Palmer, 24-yard touchdown at the half. Red Bank Regional with a 17-0 lead. Third quarter, it's Aleem Gotzi, a 17-yard touchdown run. And the Red Bank Regional Bucks improved to 7-0 on the season. 37-6 is your final. Jack Nowitzki with 2 TD runs, and that's Sadiq Palmer. Great touchdown at the end of the first half. Will without a doubt be a top play nominee. Got to give credit to Red Bank Regional coming off that emotional win against Red Bank Catholic. They had 2 weeks. This could be considered a trap game, but Red Bank Regional does its part. They go to Manchester next week and then have the Thanksgiving Day game against Long Branch, but Red Bank Regional now clearly going to get focused for what could be a special postseason run.
Thanks to Manasquan Bank for sponsoring our coverage of Point Pleasant Beach High School.
The Shore Regional Blue Devils have cruised through 2015, a perfect 6-0. Would they be tested against Point Pleasant Beach? A road test for Coach Mark Costantino's team, and they were up to the test, to say the least. Check out Doug Goldsmith go. A 45-yard run for this talented senior, and then it would lead to Matt Pennell finding Connor Rempel. A 5-yard touchdown pass. It's 7-0 Shore. And as you're about to see in these highlights, so many guys get involved on both sides of the ball, including Jack Britton. Britton comes up with the INT, and Shore does a good job of converting points off of turnovers. Alex Johnson from 2 yards out, 14-0 with 7:24 to go in the second quarter. More aerial work from Matt Pennell. He connects with Connor Rempel. Again, this is a 42-yard gain, and Rempel has emerged as a great wide receiver in the Shore Conference. Shore would go back to the run. Doug Goldsmith, look at him bust through the middle. Man, 27 yards for Doug Goldsmith. They give it back to the senior. Goldsmith from 2 yards out. At the half, Shore in complete control. It's 21-0 Blue Devils at intermission. First play of the second half, Goldsmith can do it on D as well. Here he forces the fumble. Devin McLaughlin falls on it. And Shore continues to share the offensive load among so many players. Alex Johnson with his second touchdown run of the game. This covers 20 yards. It's now 35-0 Blue Devils. And then the scoring for Shore is capped off when Jack Britton finds an opening, and Britton goes 46 yards. This is a pretty good Point Pleasant Beach team that Shore took to the woodshed. The Garnet Gulls would get on the board late in the game, but it was all Shore in this one. 42-7 is your final. The Blue Devils are now 7-0 in the season, the defending Central Jersey Group 1 state champ. Shore has one more test before the postseason begins, and it will be a good one. The Blue Devils at home hosting Asbury Park. That should be one fantastic football game, and you know that Shore Sports Zone will be there for all the highlights.
Thanks to Surf Taco for sponsoring Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Jackson Liberty.
At Jackson Liberty, the Lions hosting unbeaten Point Pleasant Boro. What a start for Jackson Liberty. First play from scrimmage, that's Ryan Van Wickle to Braden York. It covers 70 yards. That same combination will hook up a couple of plays later for a touchdown. Then, Ryan Downer. Look at him switch fields. Wow, Ryan Downer with a 31-yard touchdown. It's 13-0 Jackson Liberty. And how about we shine the zone spotlight and learn a little bit more about Ryan Downer, who was injured in the opening week. He's back healthy, and there's no question Jackson Liberty is a more dangerous team with him in the lineup. Somebody get this guy some spaghetti and meatballs, because he played a fantastic game on Friday night. And I love the quote. It really reveals a lot about the character of the kids that we cover. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. Don't forget, you can see more zone spotlights from over 40 teams on shoresportszone.com. Jackson Liberty had a 22-16 lead in the fourth, but the Point Pleasant Boro Panthers draw even. Hayden Fry ties it at 22. They missed the extra point, so we're going to overtime. The Jackson Liberty defense makes a stop, and then it's time for Braden York to be the hero. 37 yards, and we've got an upset. Great job by Jackson Liberty. 25-22 winners in overtime over Point Pleasant Boro. This is a big upset. Braden York did it all. 2 field goals, 2 touchdown catches, and a special thanks to Jackson Liberty coach Jim Sharples, who provided us with these highlights and giving us a chance to show you one of the biggest upsets on the Shore as the Lions stun the Panthers in OT. Let's wrap things up in Asbury Park. Could the Blue Bishops get 6 straight wins? Keansburg standing in the way. Late first quarter, Trevor Saunders gets to the outside, and Trevor Saunders is off to the races. A great run marked out of bounds at the 8-yard line. Same drive, beginning of the second quarter. Give credit to this Keansburg defense. They were able to buckle down, make a nice stop here, and Asbury Park would come up empty. But that changes later in the second quarter because Devon Thompson is now going to go to the air. And look at Trevor Saunders. Wow, 48 yards for Trevor Saunders. Boy, they make it look easy. 6-0 Asbury Park. And then more Devon Thompson in the air. This is pretty special. Look at Jadon Stevens. Go and get that ball. 29-yard touchdown for Jadon Stevens. If you go on the stat zone on SureSportsZone.com, you'll see that Jadon Stevens is top 5 in the area when it comes to receiving yards. He is the real deal. Man, that was a great play. 12-0 Asbury Park at the half. They certainly made some adjustments in the second half and were able to dominate. 40-0 is your final. Asbury Park has now won 6 straight games. They're 6-1. Their lone loss was in the opening week to Point Pleasant Beach in overtime. And I am really excited to see if Asbury Park can hang with Shore Regional. That's going to be one fantastic matchup. The Blue Bishops, 40-0 winners on Friday night at home against Keansburg. A reminder to support our sponsors. You saw them throughout the show. They're the reason we're able to bring you highlights from so many games. And we'll crank things right back up tomorrow for our Saturday Halloween show. We've got 7 games on the menu, and we're going to do our best to get to all 7 of those contests. For our team at SureSportsZone.com, I'm Rich Krampanis. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with more high school football action right here on SureSportsZone.com.